Welcome back to Theory Naomi. Around here we tap into our higher consciousness and universal energies. Okay. So first card we have here is Unbound, and it says releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. This card is usually for people that have toxic people around them, that have, and even if the connection isn't toxic, it's for people that have relationships, connections, friendships, whatever the case is, things that they've outgrown. And it's not necessarily always that the person is toxic or the connection is toxic. It's just that you've outgrown it, that it's holding you back from having something that could be of more value to you, that is more aligned with where you are right now and where you're going. And having this connection can be detrimental to this thing that should be coming into you. Not only could this connection derail what's in more alignment with you, it could also stop it from completely happening. It could also stop it from completely happening if this connection is not released. Because this other person, this other thing, this other job, this other opportunity, whatever it is waiting for you to clear out some space in your life. These two things can't coexist. And that's hard for a lot of people to hear. Because you, like, the people that we have in our life, obviously there's an attachment there. You've been through some shit together. It's like, if it's a job that you like, you don't want to leave it because it was there for you in hard times. Maybe your coworkers were there for you during hard times. When you lost people, or you fell out with your family, whatever the case is, or this, like an ex, or even just a friend that you feel like is draining you or not. They're just not in alignment with where you're going. And that's okay. It could hinder your progress, your enjoyment, your happiness that is supposed to be, that's waiting for you if you don't make room for it. I'm sorry to say, I don't think that, this new thing can happen with this old shit lingering, or the old shit can't linger. It just can't. Like, it's not necessarily that it's bad, it's just, it's taking up too much time. It's taking up too much mental energy. And I think even like the healing that needs to be done, that whether it's like, if it's a job and you're like, oh, maybe I don't deserve this job, whatever's keeping you at this old job is an old way of being, and that served you up into the point to where you are now. If you're trying to level up, the old shit don't fly no more. So you have to make room. You have to make room for new ways of being, new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things that don't align with your old life, your old job, your old relationship, your old friendship, your old way of talking to yourself, whatever the case is, Next card is Trust the Niggle. I always laugh saying that word. And it says, what is the niggling feeling? What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? It's about the pit in your stomach. Not necessarily the pit, but like when your stomach is telling you, your gut intuition is telling you. Like, I remember reading something a while back, and it was like, your gut and your brain are actually connected. And a lot of people kind of dismiss like your gut instinct because I guess it's more in alignment with intuition, which obviously people think is, superstitious at some point, dismissive of it if they're like really religious or whatever the case. Not always, but that's a lot of the semantics around that, and the connotation around trusting your intuition versus like being logical, the gut feeling in your stomach versus being logical. And I think it's a warning for people. A lot of us tend to overanalyze and overthink things, and we ignore what our body, what our nervous system is trying to tell us. And I'm not talking about people that necessarily are like just steeped in fight or flight mode. You're not in survival mode necessarily, but just in general, your gut is trying to tell you go with it or don't go with it. And you're not listening to that. You're just going solely by what your head is saying to you. And your head could be wrong. Your thoughts could be wrong. You could think something so passionately and so you think something is black and white and it's not, You could think something is exactly as it is, like it's your truth. You could think something so wholeheartedly and you'd be dead ass wrong. You'd be dead ass wrong. Like, it's crazy. Shit can be crazy out here. And I think this is, to get a little deeper in this card, like, it's a call to go into meditation, like to journal, meditate, sit with yourself for a while in nature, do whatever you gotta do, and reflect on how you're feeling. Even ask the universe for some signs. Your spirit guides, your ancestors, ask yourself for some signs that coincide with what you're feeling in, like, deep inside, and not what you're thinking. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. I think that this card is for people that are feeling lost. I think people that are lost on their journey, they're lost maybe in their relationships, they're lost in themselves. They don't really know what the next step is. They don't know how to get the ball rolling on things for, like, to better themselves. And not necessarily that you should always be a self-improvement project, but you're not satisfied with where you are right now, and that's okay. But you know, you are your own solution. Like, you're the problem, you're the solution to your own problem. So I think this card really wants people to remember you're that bitch. So if you're that bitch, you're gonna have to be that bitch, all right? This bitch is floating, she's flying, she's levitating in the air, okay? Whatever you gotta do to get your sparkle back, whatever you gotta do to get your light back, you gotta do that. You gotta let shit fall away. And this goes back to the unbound and the trust the niggle. This is telling you, this is confirming for you that whatever you got going on right here in this unbound, this releasing of these soul contracts, these soul ties, these past lives, let it go. Let it go, because this is stopping you from progressing forward. And your gut is telling you that you already know that this is way past you. Way past you. If you took that book back to the library, they'd be like,
oh, you owe us $1,000 motherfucking dollars.
That's actually not a lot of money, but and book fees, that is a lot. Like, I'd be so mad. Past due is past due. Whatever is needing to exit your life for you to get in more alignment with what's coming to you.
Well, I already said what I had to say. Already said what I had to say. Okay.
Last card is take a break.
I think I'm gonna do a few more, actually.
The last one is take a break. It says a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Take your ass a break. Get off the fucking treadmill. Take your ass a break. I think you might be overworking yourself here because you don't want to reflect. And because if you reflect too much, maybe you know you're gonna come up with all this stuff that I already said to you. You're gonna have to let the people go. You're gonna have to let this job go. You're gonna have to let these ideals about yourself go, about what you deserve and what you don't deserve. You're gonna have to let all of that go to let in what you know you're in alignment with. And that shit is hard. It's hard and it sucks sometimes because you are essentially reinventing yourself into this new version of you, and that requires you to self-isolate at times. It requires you to say no to a lot of things you really want to do, to a lot of things that your old self really wants you to do. It requires you to tell people, hold on, hold fast. I'm not with the shits no more, so you're gonna have to miss me with that one. It requires you to tell people, well, I gotta do this. I can't really do that right now, but maybe next time. And sometimes that put on the wrong connections, that will really dampen the connection and really make it really hard because they're gonna take it personally. And that means that, you know, if you miss a few hangouts because you got other stuff to do, and they're in their feelings about it, and like in a bad way, not like oh, I miss you, like, you know, we need to get together, but like, damn, they not riding with me no more. Like, they being mad, they moving funny, like they just feel really weird about you bettering yourself because they're not bettering themselves. And they got to be up out of here. Okay, so I'm actually gonna shuffle a few more. I did this yesterday, you know. Oh Lord.
Jesus.
Okay, we have play. It says have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. What did I tell you?
What did I tell you?
Actually, I don't think I said it this time. But I said it in the last reading I did. Yeah, y'all need to do things that light you up. You need to do things that make you feel like a kid again. And I think when you're doing that, when you're doing those activities, you're spending time with yourself and you feel like exuberant, a lot of this bullshit is gonna fall away. It's gonna fall away. It's gonna make letting this stuff go a lot easier. And it's gonna usher in the things that are in alignment with where you're going and who you are now and who you're trying to be. Oh my Lord.
Why y'all gotta fall though?
It says star mother. How can you mother yourself? Is the question on the card. These two are entwined, you playing and finding ways to play, and then mothering yourself is self-care, divine feminine energy self-care. is really going to help you calm your mind and your spirit, because whatever you're about to release, whatever you know you need to let go of, it's gonna be really fucking hard. Like, let's not cap, it's gonna be really hard. You likely have known these people a good chunk of your life, or you've likely been at this job a good chunk of your career and things have been really good for you there. Just because there's time spent with this person or opportunity or job, whatever the case is, doesn't mean that they have the best interest at heart for you, and doesn't mean that they have the worst interest at heart. It could also really just mean that y'all don't mesh no more. Let that shit go. So instead, focusing on mothering yourself and having fun so you can get clarity about who you want to usher into your life, romantically and platonically, and what kind of opportunities and abundance you want to manifest into your life, like who you want to collaborate with, who you want to be creative with, all of that good stuff. You already know what y'all gotta do. Hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram at Etherically Naomi. Same thing as my YouTube. If you need to book an oracle reading, go to my website, my spiritual shop, book a reading. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about, drop a comment below, and I'll see y'all next time. Oh, for real. If you missed my last reading, I'll link that shit. Bye.
Polaroid picture gonna snap me in your frames. Ever since I came in, knew I would wreck the game. The day I met the microphone, shit, life ain't been the same. Intellect on cosmic levels, was born with 2 brains.